Hi guys, welcome back to Tidal Gardens. When it comes to identification of corals down to the correct genus and species, we put in a tiny bit of effort, but only a little bit. We are a coral farm that sells corals, and a big part of that is showing up in Google for the things that people are searching for, even if it's the incorrect name. Having said that, there are situations where getting the name right has some real world practical impact. In this case, it's a killer that hides in plain sight. Let's talk about the genus Acanthastrea. Since Acanthastrea was first introduced into the hobby, its ranks have slowly been dwindled down over the years as a result of reclassifications. Acanthastrea lordhowensis, once the flagship of the genus, not an Acan anymore. It's a Micromusa lordhowensis now. Acanthastrea bowerbanki, not an Acan anymore. It's Homophyllia bowerbanki now. I am good with all these changes because they kind of make a lot of sense when I think about it. I do think that lords have a lot more similarities with, say, the Micromusa amacacensis. Same with the bowerbankis. They're really similar to Homophyllia australis, which in their own right used to be the flagship of its previous genus, the Scalemia. The reclassification helped a bit as far as care goes, as there are some subtle differences and troubleshooting tips. The Micromusa lords and the Amacucensis, they aren't quite as easy as most LPS. They fall prey to certain microscopic bugs and different types of infections. Their coloration can shift a great deal based on the lighting that they receive and their nutrition. These are issues that aren't shared by the bowerbanki, for example. Now that lords and bowerbanki are no longer members of the genus, it seems like the only species in the hobby that stuck around is Acanthastrea echinata, which in retrospect is super duper different than all of those other previous acans. It's much flatter in appearance, and it doesn't have as much, I guess you would call it like separation between the polyps. Most importantly, though, this coral is top tier aggressive. This is a coral that you don't want next to any other coral. It's going to fight, and it's likely going to win. So take note of that. Acans are killers. Up to this point, everything seems pretty straightforward as far as this reclassification work, right? A lot of corals made their way out of the genus into others that made more sense. But then there is a new addition to the Acanthastrea genus, that being this guy. This is the Acanthastrea pachysepta. Since forever, I thought this was a Lobophyllia. Everyone did. Even looking back at my Lobophyllia species spotlight video from 2018, the very first shot is this Acan. In fairness, I think that the reclassification happened right around that time frame, so unless you keep up on top of all of the scientific journals, it's not something that you would have caught, especially given this coral's appearance, which is very convincingly Lobophyllia-like. Now, the practical effect of this reclassification, though, is massive because, like the Acan echinata, the Acanthastrea pachysepta is a killer. It wants to fight, and it's really good at it. These corals do not send out sweeper tentacles, but they utilize their mesenterial filaments to engulf neighboring corals. In particular, they like to kill Lobophyllia, and that's why it got nicknamed the Lobo Killer. This can be an issue for both the home hobbyists as well as those working at the commercial level, because we as humans like to organize things into neat little boxes, and it is super easy for folks to lump these together with other LPS, like Lobophyllia, and the next day come into a really unpleasant sight. Even here, we have to constantly watch out for these and make sure that one wasn't accidentally placed in the same tray as other LPS. So guys, as much as I tend to roll my eyes a little every time a coral gets reclassified, it does matter. The hobby is a slow-moving ship when it comes to accurate scientific names, but I think we'll get there. Sometimes kicking and screaming, but it eventually does happen. This is one of those examples, though, where It'd be nice if it happened a little quicker for our corals' sake. But anyway, that is all from here. Happy reefing.